Dark conspiracy theories that actually turned out to be true in 2020. Please subscribe. 5th, the First Lady who ran the country. In October 1919, President Woodrow Wilson suffered a stroke that rendered him incapable of governing. Some of us probably know that part. What you might not know, however, is that after his stroke, his wife, First Lady Edith Wilson, decided what matters were important enough to bring to Woodrow's attention, essentially giving her the unofficial role of president until Warren Harding took over in 1921. Because Woodrow never technically resigned, the vice president at the time, Thomas Marshall, could not take over, and Wilson instead decided to allow his wife to govern for some time. Perhaps the scariest thing about this whole story is that the US government didn't inform the public of this. The people only learned of Wilson's stroke in February 1920, and even then, the full details weren't known. It's events like these that are the framework of the relatively modern and widely believed deep state conspiracy theory, which posits that there is an unknown party in the government, independent of changing administrations, that makes most of the decisions. 4th, the US government's weather manipulation. In 1993, the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, DARPA, the US military, and the University of Alaska created the High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program, otherwise known as HAARP. Since then, numerous conspiracy theories have sprung up surrounding the mysterious project, everything from satellites that can cause earthquakes to huge transmitters that can create tornadoes and tsunamis. However, what most people don't know is that there actually was documented weather manipulation project during the Vietnam War, decades before the creation of HAARP. Operation Popeye was a 5-year project in which the US government used the age-old technique of cloud seeding to increase precipitation during the rainy seasons over North Vietnam's Ho Chi Minh Trail in order to disrupt the NVA's moving of vehicles, weapons, and rations across the trail. The general idea of cloud seeding is to send an airborne object, typically an airplane, flying through a cloud while releasing small particulates that give water vapor something to cling to so that it can condense and become rain. What's scary about this is if the military has done it in the past, and given the length of the operation, it must have been at least partly successful. What's to stop them from doing it again? 3rd, the Canadian fruit machine. Despite being one of the strongest proponents of the LGBT community today, Canada's history isn't as clean as one would think. In the 1960s, the Canadian government hired a university professor to create a gaydar, what it called the fruit machine at the time. The university professor, Frank Robert Wake of Carleton University, went about this by forcing subjects to look at same-sex erotic imagery while he measured pupil dilation, perspiration levels, and changes in pulse to gauge just how fruity they were. The program was part of a long-term effort to remove homosexuals from positions of civil service. In the late 1960s, funding was cut off, but not before the Royal Canadian Mounted Police had collected files on over 9,000 suspected homosexuals. 2nd, the Dalai Lama. The Dalai Lama is the designated spiritual leader of the Tibetan people. Those carrying the title are generally seen as embodying the tenets of Buddhism, inner peace, enlightenment, and virtuousness. However, CIA documents published by the State Department in 1998 indicated otherwise. For much of the 1960s and some of the 1970s, the current Dalai Lama, Tenzin Gyatso, along with many other prominent Tibetan figures, were funneled millions of dollars by the CIA. This funding was part of a concerted effort by US intelligence to undermine Communist China and global Communist presence by propping up Tibetan guerrillas in their fight against the Communist state. According to the report, the CIA funded approximately 2,100 Tibetan guerrillas with $500,000 annually and gave the Dalai Lama himself an annual $180,000 subsidy. The funding ended in the early 1970s, after President Nixon began to open up more to China in efforts to improve crumbling relations. The official CIA report stated that the purpose of the program was to keep the political concept of an autonomous Tibet alive within Tibet and among foreign nations, principally India, and to build a capability for resistance against possible political developments inside Communist China. The Dalai Lama wrote in his autobiography that he saw the cutting off of the funding as a reflection of their anti-communist policies rather than genuine support for the restoration of Tibetan independence. First Operation Mockingbird. Operation Mockingbird was a 1950s program in which the CIA recruited and propped up various media organizations to influence public opinion. In April 1976, the Church Committee, a U.S. Senate task force, conducted an investigation into the CIA's influence over both foreign and national news organizations and stated that the CIA maintained a huge global network that provided intel for the organization and at times attempted to influence opinion through the use of covert propaganda. The damning report also stated that these same individuals gave the CIA direct access to a large number of ad times and they claimed that approximately 50 of the CIA's assets were individual American journalists or employees of US media organizations. Thanks for watching.